Get ready for the dictation. Start. I deem it a privilege to be invited to address this joint session of the US Congress. I thank you for the invitation. I bring you the greetings and good wishes of the people of India. India and the United States have much in common that is very important to both countries. You are the world's oldest democracy, we are its largest. Our shared commitment to democratic values and processes has been a bond that has helped us transcend differences. We admire the creativity and enterprise of the American people, the excellence of your institutions of learning, the openness of the economy, and your ready embrace of diversity. These have attracted the brightest young minds from India, creating a bridge of understanding that transcends both distance and difference between us. In addition to the values we share as democracies, there is also a convergence in our perceptions of a rapidly transforming global environment, bringing us much closer together than at any time in the past. Globalization has made the world so interdependent that none of us can ignore what happens elsewhere. Peace and prosperity are more indivisible than ever before in human history. As democracies, we must work together to create a world in which democracies can flourish. This is particularly important because we are today faced with new threats such as terrorism, to which democracies are particularly vulnerable. Indian democracy has been fashioned around India's civilizational ethos, which celebrates diversity. Our society today is the result of centuries of assimilation of diverse peoples and ethnic groups. All the major religions of the world are represented in India. We have a tremendous diversity of languages, customs, and traditions. The father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, called for universal adult franchise as early as 1931, long before India became independent. Our political leadership remained true to this commitment, and the constitution we adopted after independence enshrined democracy based on free elections and the associated principles of tolerance, of dissent, freedom for political activity, protection of human rights, and the rule of law. Our first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, addressing this very forum in 1949, acknowledged our debt to America on this score. He said that you could hear in our constitution the echo of the great voices of the founding fathers of your republic. The real test of a democracy, how the constitution functions on the ground. All Indians can be proud of what we have achieved in this area, and our experience is also relevant beyond our boundaries. Free and fair elections are the foundation of a democracy. Over the past 6 decades, governments in India at both the national and state level have regularly sought the mandate of the people through elections. Our elections are conducted under the supervision of a statutory independent election commission which has earned respect for its fairness and transparency both at home and abroad. The independent judiciary has been a zealous defender of our constitution and a credible guarantor of the rule of law. The press is a key institution in any democracy, and our media has a well earned reputation for being free and fearless. Our minorities and we have many participate actively in all walks of national life, political, commercial and cultural. Civil society organizations are thriving and are vigilant in protecting human rights. They are also watchful of threats to the environment. Our army has remained a professional force subject throughout to civilian control. Recently, the Constitution was amended to ensure constitutionally mandated elections to village and municipal councils. This process has produced no less than 3 million elected representatives in the country, with 1 million positions reserved for women. This has brought democracy closer to the people and also empowered women and promoted gender balance. Our commitment to democratic values and practices means there are many concerns and perceptions that we share with the United States. The most important common concern is the threat of terrorism. Democracy can only thrive in open and free societies. But open societies like ours are today threatened more than even before by the rise of terrorism. The very openness of our societies makes us more vulnerable, and yet we must deal effectively with the threat without losing the openness we so value and cherish. India and the United States have both suffered grievously from terrorism, and we must make common cause against it. We know that those who resort to terror often clothe it in the garb of real or imaginary grievances. We must categorically affirm that no grievance can justify resort to terror. Democracies provide legitimate means for expressing dissent. They provide the right to engage in political activity and must continue to do so. However, for this very reason, they cannot afford to be soft on terror. Terrorism exploits the freedom our open societies provide to destroy our freedoms. The United States and India must work together in all possible forums to counter all forms of terrorism. We cannot be selective in this area. We must fight terrorism wherever it exists in the world. Stop. हेलो शॉर्टहैंडियंस, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। ऐसे ही और हार्ड वर्ड्स की आउटलाइन और वर्ड्स डिफ्रेंसिएशन की वीडियोस के लिए प्लीज़ वीडियो को लाइक, शेयर और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू प्रेस द बेल आइकन। थैंक यू।